Hi there. So let's get real and honest about wanting to buy a home and just how confusing the whole process is. Do not feel bad if you do not know the questions to ask. Do not feel bad if you don't even know what the first step is. You are not alone, and I want to make sure that you know that other people are going through this. When I went and bought my first home when I was 24 years old, I was living in Manhattan and buying a house in Pennsylvania. And I did not know until 2 years later that the mortgage that I ended up getting locked into and closing on was a 5-year ARM, which means it's not fixed for 30 years, it's only fixed for 5 years. So I learned that when I started in this industry, so I don't want that to happen to you. I want you to know who can you trust, who can you listen to and know that the information that they're providing is correct. So in this video, I'm gonna go through the 3 things that will really help you start looking at the information that's out there and figuring out what's the real deal and what isn't. So we're gonna go over to the board where I made some notes, and I'm gonna walk you through number 1. I'm gonna tell you about where you need to look to find the right mortgage advisor. Number 2, I'm going to teach you some of the questions that you need to be asking to make sure that you're picking someone who's looking out for your best interest. And then number 3, I'm going to share with you what to look for online, because we know that's where everyone starts, is online. We're not quite ready to talk to someone yet. We don't want to get sold, and we want to know that we're talking to a person who would treat us just like you treat your mother and your brother or your sister. So come on over to the board and let me show you some of the things that I think will help you a ton be able to feel more comfortable taking that first step in order to buy your first. So the first thing you want to make sure that you do when you are starting to decide you want to buy a house and what is the first step, it's getting pre-approved. It's making sure you qualify for a mortgage, because if you don't, the right advisor will help you get there so you will qualify. But if you do qualify, the first thing that you want to do, you're going to start doing research. You want to look local, okay? Don't feel bad that you're overwhelmed with this. I get it. Most people go online and they start looking. But what ends up happening is they'll get on the phone with one of the big lenders that pays a lot of money for ads, and they're talking to someone who is halfway across the country, doesn't know the local market, doesn't know who is the best attorney to do your will now that you own a home, doesn't know the right contractor to fix a problem on the house you're buying. Find someone local, okay? If you want to apply online, that's fine, but also find someone local and get a second opinion. Find somebody local here. Ask good questions. So what are good questions? I'm going to give you 3 examples. First question is, what types of loan options do you have? Would be a great question, because getting a mortgage is kind of like going to the doctors. If you're just going to walk into your local bank where you have your checking account, you're only going to get maybe 1, 2, couple products, and you'd have to go around to 5 or 6 banks to see what's out there. You want to go to someone who specializes in mortgages so that they can show you options. And so you want to make sure they're not just sending you one option. That's really important. The second question I have on here is, can we meet? Let's say you feel fine working with somebody online. Make sure they will do a virtual meeting with you so you can look at them face to face and understand, have a conversation, and also hold them accountable to how you want your transaction to go. Going out and finding the house is the fun part. Getting the mortgage, it can be the stressful part if the expectations aren't set correctly up front. And then the third question that I have is, what type of mortgage do you have? I would ask the person I'm working with, what is the mortgage that they have on their house? What lender is it with? What have they done a mortgage for their family members? What type of mortgages did they help them with? Because you want to be treated just like a family member with what you're choosing to use. This is going to be the biggest vehicle that you will use that will help you gain equity and net worth. Number 3, when you are going online, I know everybody goes online now, and it's great because there's so much information, but that's where this process can be so overwhelming, is because there's too much information. So who do you trust? How can you tell who's a reliable source to listen to? And if you're going to listen to the first piece of advice, which is to go local, go and check out the websites of the places that are local in your market. And I would say one of the number one things that I would look at is not only reviews. Reviews are very important, but I think more than that, the content that they have on their website. Do they publish a blog on a consistent basis? Once a week. For example, our office posts a blog once a week, and it's written by our team members and our staff. It is organic, it is true to us. We are sharing experiences, whereas I know that there are places that are just, for a certain amount a month, they're paying for a website that's just publishing stuff that's not authentic to them as a company. So go and see who wrote those blog posts and see if they're doing it consistently. Right, when you think about the big picture. This is not a commodity. Getting a mortgage is not like going and purchasing a television. It's not. And it literally, if you're gonna go out and just rate shop when you're ready to get a home and do this, if you're just gonna call around and look for a rate, sadly, you're gonna get this very, very wrong, and you're gonna end up in the wrong debt vehicle. Because that's what it is. A mortgage is a vehicle to help you own a home that is worth something. It's a forced savings. And loan officers, they can be called loan officers, mortgage advisors, mortgage brokers. There's lots of different names for the professionals that help people when they're getting a home and they're helping them find a mortgage. Mortgage loan officers that you're talking to should be asking you the right questions. It should not just be, what's your name, what's your social, what's your birthday, what's your address, what bank account do you have? It needs to be a deeper conversation. I am a financial advisor. I am helping people figure out how to save money, how they can invest money, how they can build wealth. I'm looking at how much the mortgage is going to affect their taxes. And it's important for me to ask them questions like, how long are you going to be in this house? Are you going to make extra payments? What do you feel comfortable with? I am asking them deeper questions. Do you have a will yet? Do you have a financial advisor that invests your money in investments? And so make sure that you're seeing the bigger picture and you're not just looking at it as a commodity and just looking at interest rates. And we will have a video on that. So if you'd like to get more of an understanding on how to understand the mortgage that you are trying to have on your new home, click the link in the description, and that is where it will lead you to a video where I'm going to walk you through cost estimates, loan options, and really just walk you through every line item on what's called a fee sheet, a loan comparison, so that you can see and understand how to read these sheets. Make sure you subscribe, leave a comment below if there's anything that I didn't cover that you're interested in. I'm Megan Marsh, co-founder of Keystone Alliance Mortgage. We're a mortgage broker. We do residential and commercial loans in the state of Pennsylvania and Florida, and we'd love to hear from you.